Abusua ene de enkomo ababonte no ano nipa efa ye maame ye former CJ Gertrude Torkonoo ene ya ye honorable the minority leader Afenyomarkins nene enkomo bi akoso expose kase bi akoso a enya nsem keto a omo ekira eyade a Afenyomarkins na eche maame ye maame magati eyade a Alexander na eche epiepie na tiko emene eye enoma bi we de maame kasa wa me maame kasa enye tinte yenko ne yintie enkomo no mu ankasa enchire mu. Yes, Yintenia a course ankasa and Komaya Bab Montefa, the honorable Alexander Afenyomarkins, the minority leader. MS is more extra between any answer. And the internal Mocasa media or ye Alexander Afenyomarkins. We had a soy baby, but what I saw best subscribe like a young cock. Now you take and come a course of MS here. You are Momadia said the child.
Is the nation build up, the built of the foundations of the nation over decades, and they continue to evolve and to meet your building needs. GASEM remains the nation builder. And I'll tell you as well about the National Petroleum Authority as a gear up for their national conference. Zabento will deal with that. And so, for those of you who are in the industry of the petroleum industry, take note of this, and this is one that you must make some time to attend, and that is the National Petroleum Authority NPA conference, and this is coming up in this month of July. Ghana will host global energy leaders and experts at the Ghana International Petroleum Conference. It's between July 16th and 17th, 2026, 8 a.m. each day. The venue is Palms Convention Center, La Palm Royal Beach Hotel. The event will be climaxed with the Downstream Awards and Gala Night happening on July 18th. The President, John Dramani Mahama, is the special guest of honor. Register now at www.gipcon.com, that's GHIPCON.com, or you can call 055-822-3678, 055-822-3678 for some more information. And as always, my outfit this morning is by Kogra Clothing. It's the best version of you. You can call Kogra Clothing on this number for this outfit and many others you see me wearing on Saturday mornings on Keypoint. 026-055-8056, 026-055-8056. This week, no surprises. The Supreme Court ruled on the two consolidated cases regarding the removal of the former Chief Justice. I'll start off with you, Martin Pebu, and there's 3 minutes each. And then, but then there's a big takeaway from the ruling, even though the reliefs of these persons were not granted.
Yes.
But what is the Supreme Court saying?
Yes. So for me, the big takeaway is the fact that at least the Supreme Court realizes, and in this case, you are talking about the Center for Citizenship and the Torkonoo case. You know, there are two judgments. So the Center for Citizenship and the Torkonoo case. They say that it is desirable that we have in place a system where if the prima facie determination is to be done, the basis for it, the reasons for arriving at a prima facie determination should be articulated. And so for me, that's middle of the road. So you read the opinion of Justice Amadou Tanko, right? The lead opinion in which the rest of the judges concurred. And that Justice Denis J wrote a concurring opinion, but the rest of the other judges concurred with Amadou Tanko. He says that, look, it's desirable that we have in place a better system. And so for me, that is the biggest takeaway. So it means that moving forward, we should not have that situation where you would have a prima facie determination made against a Chief Justice or for that matter, any other judge, and yet there are no fully articulated reasons. You know, I usually don't support Akufo-Addo for all the bad things and even the economy. Haruna, some minutes ago, was talking about the rains killing people. Akufo-Addo's handling of the economy of Fufuriata killed more people than these rains are killing people. Okay, but let's come back here. But you see that in the petition for the removal of the Chief Justice made by Kweku Asare, Akufo-Addo gave a reasoned ruling. When you read it, then you see that, yes, this is a properly reasoned ruling. So that's the standard. So for me, I'm happy that the Supreme Court agrees that, look,
no, you mean a reasoned
ruling on the prima facie.
President Akufo-Addo?
Yes.
Giving a ruling?
How can
Yes.
Akufo-Addo?
No, I want to understand.
Now,
Please. No.
You said Akufo-Addo.
Yes, this guy, Kweku Asare, presented a petition for removal of this.
Okay, it is the petition, his decision on the petition.
You mean the president's response? Not the ruling.
Oh, I'm saying ruling because of its
I get your
nature.
point. I totally understand. No, I think
yes, I'm saying
The problem we have created is that your too much dislike for Akufo-Addo has traveled even into your explanation.
Go there. I know anything. I'm calling a reason ruling because so call it a reason. That's why you are out anyway. That's why I'm not the only one. That's why what? Annihilated, embarrassed. I thought you would rather not even raise this because we will hit you more. That's why you've been totally embarrassed, showing that that's not how to govern a country. Okay. Yeah, so you find what he wrote. Lawyer Kujoto said he wrote it, right? Akufo-Addo read, approved, and then that's it. So you see that he gave reasons, copiously reasoned well. That's the standard. So once the Supreme Court says, look, this current law, their main problem is that they just cannot read into the provision what the plaintiff is looking for. You see, that elaborate reasoned ruling. But they accept that it would help if we would have such a thing. So that is where we should be looking at. And since we are now about to do the constitutional review, it means that is what I think HQC Prempe did. We read it. Yeah, we need to further fine-tune it. And indeed, it's important to mention this thing that in our history, that's what it was, that the Consultative Assembly had proposed that there should be a judicial committee of the Council of State. Judicial committee to be able to do this, give reasoned rulings. Let me use the word reasoned ruling. Don't worry. So Ghanaians understand it.
Thank you very much.
We are clear that it's not a court.
Perfect. Ahona, quickly on this. 3 minutes.
Thank you very much. I believe that if we have been taken out and you see it as an embarrassment, that is why they have been embarrassing the governance state, because everything is going hoo-ha. And for the first time, even in our administration, we did not have the cost to arrest you and put you behind detention. So what is more of embarrassment than that?
Back to
this particular case and the decision that is taken by the Supreme Court, thankfully that we as MPP will not call them a unanimous FC. Never. This is a judicial decision. The Supreme Court has spoken. But for me and the MPP, our stance are very clear. Justice Gertrude Araba Sake Esaba Torkonoo, her dismissal will go in the records and the annals of this country as one of what was cooked in opposition, implemented in government, and defended in the process. For us, injustice has been meted to her, and that is why the Supreme Court is proffering its solutions to be able to stop some of the lacks in the implementation of a specific law. I think that it is something we consider that it was not done properly. And that is why they are asking that there should be a judicial committee, like he's explaining. They are also talking about the prima facie must also be explained or be put out so that people will get to appreciate and understand. I would have wished that this whole thing would have been revisited if the Supreme Court wanted this to. They could have also made a consequential orders that this must be addressed before such is done. But the injustice is being put on Justice Araba Torkonoo.
Mr. Bento, please.
Yes,
Mr. Bento, please.
As far as I am concerned, coming events cast their shadows, and nobody is surprised by this ruling. However, I think the justices must be commended for taking the time to go through and write the kind of rulings they write. If you take, for instance, the prima facie explanation over there, if you read it, you understand better. Prima facie means if no defense is raised, the accusation must be such that it will lead to, your conviction. And they reason it out pretty well. So I'm happy. But the hero out of all of this is Justice Torkonoo. Okay, and we kept saying she fighting this thing through. I mean, I don't think she herself was expecting that she would be reinstated per se. So coming events cast their shadows. But we have something which will last for posterity, and it's because she stood and fought through even when she could have walked away. So kudos to her, and I'm happy that this chapter has come to an end, hopefully.
The 146 reforms and then the proposals made is one that...
No, I'm happy it's been done. This is how you build a country.
Okay.
But let me tell you something. If the next president makes a determination that they are going to remove the next Chief Justice, and they proceed the way that this one has proceeded, even under all these things, they will still remove the person. So what we must do is to get to a point where we are shielding some of these officers to the point where they cannot be removed. I mean, I don't know what word to use, which would be but it's not arbitrary, because they went through the process somehow. But we should elevate things to the point where it will not be this easy for somebody to premeditate a removal and still be able to use the law to remove the person. Okay.
Landlord in Bolga D-Line, and Bediako, coming to you, says it's only in Ghana that we make politics out of everything, including natural disasters, no matter how prepared Accra was. Could not still manage the waters. You say, Professor Ransford Jampo says, Alfred, the principle of ultimate responsibility does not shield against individual responsibility. Please let Kofi Bento know this. Okay, thank you. Labiyako.
You see, first and foremost, this is where the former Chief Justice, this is how far she has come. I wanted to deal with a few, but we don't have time. If you look at the decision of the Supreme Court, match it with that of the ECOWAS, you will see a lot of similarities. I am not too sure about the hero matter, but if you read the decision very well, it seems to suggest that there wasn't much or there wasn't anything done wrong. In fact, this proposal, it's not as if you read the ECOWAS decision, they even talk about this prima facie. They said it's not in our constitution, but because we said that, or the parties alluded to the fact that there's been a decision by the Supreme Court, they are good to go with it. So, absolutely. So this is what they've done now, to expand on it. Absolutely. Like the prima facie case bit, which was not in the constitution. Now they brought this. It's good. Going forward, I think we have to. But you see, so I would let me use my time to deal with this. Look, I beg, just about 2 minutes. I told you, I cautioned that we ought to be careful with politicization of this flattening, because we've had a worst president who refused to deal with these issues. Look, in 2018, there were floods. That was man-made. It killed 34 people in the north. President Kufuor didn't even fly there to check on them. That is a matter of record. Yes, I am. Please allow me. I'm using my time. You were here, you heard him. But you never said anything. You were here. Please allow me. You were here, you heard him. In 2018, 34 people in the north died. President Kufuor didn't go there. He didn't even... Please. So I've told you, please allow me. I heard you say all the things. In 2019, people died in this country. It was in 2023, this village, when Ghanaians were saying, so you don't care about people, then Evers and then those people, at the Akosomo stretch, that President Kufuor went there. And you heard the infamous, you don't vote for me. So if it were about who vote for me, I won't come. This is what very shameful statement that the president went to make there. You are saying what? That President Mahama is what? And has not done what? Former Vice President Mahmoud Bawumia, in office for 8 years as former vice president, did he ever visit? In 2018 there were floods, 2019 there were floods, 2023 there were floods. Did he ever visit any of them? No.
So what's the point?
So the point I'm making is that if you want to politicize it as he has done, then you are worse. If you want us to look, President Kufuor went to Canada and met the Ghanaian community there. He said he would not use our money to cure our indiscipline. This is what he told the people, or the Ghanaians in Canada. And you come and sit here instead of you trying to, at least there is a problem. Let us come together and help fix the problem. You come and sit here and do politics and refer to books that people have written. When you empower both the president and now the person you are rooting for, did nothing to help the people of those who are faced these problems of it.
I think that
so you see, when you come,
this misinformation must not be left to.
Which misinformation? When 34 people died in the north.
Very clear. He said we did nothing.
No, 34 people. No. I'm not. It's not your time. So if I said no, if you want time, no. You determine that. No. It's not. So I'm saying that 34 people died in the north where you come from. President Kufuor did he visit them? In 2018 September, did he do that?
Point to a report.
There's no report
that mentions this 30, but the 34 that is here
died. Check. 34 died.
Na me also be your Jibril Hedge with you. Dan that's any political trending news. The echo any the eba any penny. Yabo no yabo ne pede. The abremo. Hana me the most like you media no share subscribe to the channel. Na send we political trending news. Biana. The tuma also answer. Be tuma keep me the most here. Macron.